Okay, let's give this a try, day 2. So it's lesson 26. And the learning target is I can divide a unit fraction by a whole number. Okay. So it looks like we're going to be dividing fractions by whole numbers. Let's take a look at the application problem. All right, I'm going to write it down and then I will be back. Okay, so the application problem says a race begins with 2 1/2 miles through town, continues through the park for 2 1/3 miles, and finishes at the track after the last 1/6 mile. A volunteer is stationed every quarter mile and at the finish line to pass out cups of water and cheer on the runners. How many volunteers are needed? Okay, so let's do redraw right here. So we know we have to have 2 1/2 miles through town, 2 1/3 miles, last 1/6 of a mile. So our question is, how many volunteers are needed? So our statement would be, there need to be blank volunteers. Okay, so I want to tell you that you should make a tape diagram for this. And then you need to figure out the total distance of the race and then divide that by 1/4. So it's going to be the total distance of the race, which is the distance of race divided by 1/4 to find your answer. I'm going to work this problem through. I'm going to draw a tape diagram and put your answer on the Google form. Thanks. Okay, let's take a look at some of the concept development here. Okay, I am going to write down the questions and then I will come back. Thanks. Okay, so our question starts with this. Nolan gives some pans of brownies to his 3 friends to share equally. In the first part, if he has 3 pans of brownies, how many pans of brownies will each friend receive? So he has 3 pans, and the 3 pans of brownies need to be divided equally with 3 friends. So our division sentence would be, I think you guys already have this, 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So each friend receives 1 pan of brownies. Oops. Because he has 3 pans, and we know from our original statement he has 3 friends. So 3 pans divided by 3 friends equals 1 pan each. So if he has 1 pan of brownies, how many will each friend receive? So he has 1, and he needs to divide it by his 3 friends. So we know, and just do this mentally, if he has 1 pan and he gives each one to each one of his friends, they're each going to receive 1/3. You don't really have to draw a tape diagram from that, but I just want you to understand that. Each friend will receive 1/3 pan of brownies. All right. Okay, so for this one, it gets a little trickier. So now that he only has a half pan, he still needs to share them with his 3 friends. How many pans will they each receive? So we're going to draw a tape diagram for this. And our tape diagram is going to be actually still of a whole pan. We're just going to focus on 1/2 of that whole pan. So let's take a look at this half right here. So of this half that he has the whole half. He needs to split that with his friends. So he's going to split this half into thirds, right? So our equation is 1/2 divided by 3, and that equals 1/6. And in order to understand this, you also need to separate this additional half into 3 to understand that each person of his 3 friends is only getting 1/6 of the whole, because he only has this 1/2 to give. So 1/2 divided by 3 is 1/6. So each friend will receive 1/6 pan of brownies. All right, so let's go to this next one. Now he only has 1/3 of a pan of brownies. How many pans of brownies will each friend receive? So our tape diagram for this one, again, is still going to be that whole pan. Whoops, sorry. It's still going to be our whole pan. But this time, instead of having a half, we only have 1/3 that we can deal with. So this is our 1/3. So of our 1/3 that we have right here, we need to separate that 1/3 into 3 different friends. Each one of these thirds needs to be separated into 3 different friends. So 1/3 divided by 3 friends equals okay, so this really isn't 1/3. This is actually 1/9. Because even though it's separated by 3 friends, it's one of 9 different blocks we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because each third of this whole has 3 parts of it. So 1/3 divided by 3 is 1/9. So in this case, each friend receives 1/9 pan of brownies. I just want you to be able to see that it's a whole and that it's separated into however many parts, and we have it here. And then each of these parts, each part of that fraction needs to be separated into its 3 friends. Let's try this next one now. 1/5 divided by 2. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to draw a tape diagram. And my tape diagram is going to have fifths. And each of my fifths now needs to be divided into 2. So we just want to know about this part of it, about 1/5. Also should note that this is 1 whole. So 1/5 divided by 2 1/5 divided by 2 would be this one piece right here, which is 1/10. All right, and finally, let's look at this problem. If Melanie pours 1/2 liter of water into 4 bottles, putting an equal amount in each, how many liters of water will be in each bottle? Okay, so I guess the first question we have here is how many liters of water does Melanie have? And we know that Melanie has 1/2 liter. And she's pouring it into 4 bottles. So how do we solve this problem? Well, I know that we have to divide, and the division expression is going to be 1/2 divided by 4. Okay, so you need to divide the dividend 1/2 by the divisor of 4. So how can we draw this? Let's try to draw this. Let me draw a tape diagram for this one. So again, this would be 1. And we're only going to deal with the 1/2 of it. So this is our 1/2 that we're dealing with here. And this 1/2 needs to be divided into 4 parts. We're also going to divide this one into 4 parts as well. So we just want to know how many each one of these 4 bottles is going to get. So each bottle is going to get 1/8 of the 1/2 liter. So the answer is 1/8. All right, so let's go to some of the problem set here. I'm going to write a couple of the problems from the problem set down, and we'll work them through together before I let you guys go to solve them yourself. All right, let's try this one. 1/2 divided by 7. Tape diagram again. Here's my 1/2. I'm going to divide that into 7 equal parts. And I just want to know how much this is, and it is 1/14. So 1/2 divided by 7 is 1/14. All right, let's go to the next one. Do I have a next one? Oh, I didn't write a next one in yet. Okay, let's go to one where we have to check using multiplication. So let's do the first one, check using multiplication. Oh, all right, so it's the same one. 1/2 divided by 7 equals 1/14. And then we're going to check this one using multiplication. And our multiplication would be 1/14 times 7, and it should equal 1/2. So 1 times 7 over 14 equals 7 over 14, and we know we can reduce that to 1/2. So that's checked, and that is correct. Okay, I'm going to insert the answers to the problem set here for you guys to check now. So I would say do the problem set and then come back and check the answers. So go do your problem set and come back in a few minutes when you're done trying the problem set, and there will be an answer key posted here and you can check it. Make sure you pause the video, go do your problem set, and then come back. Okay, so here are the answers to the problem set. Number 1A is 1/6. B is 1/12. C is 1/8. D is 1/12. Number 2A is 1/14. 2B is 1/18. 2C is 1/20. 2D is 1/20. 2E is 1/10. 2F is 1/18. 2G is 1/16, and 2H is 1/100. The answer to problem 3 on the problem set is 1/4. The answer to problem 4A is 1/16 of a gallon. The answer to problem B is 1 cup on number 4. Problem 5A is 1/12, and problem 5B is $28.80. So I hope you had some success with that. And if you are ready, you can go to the exit ticket. You can post the answer to the exit ticket in the Google form that's provided on Google Classroom. Let me know how you like this. Thanks. Bye.